So here we are. It's been a couple days of insanity. Just been working like crazy, or maybe it's 1 day or 2 days, kind of all melting together right now. But we're being very successful now. Hellcat in. Chassis is actually cut and rewelded. And rewelded to a shorter wheelbase. So right now we're going to be in a wheelbase roughly 118 to 120, depending on what happens to the back end, and I'll show you. Come follow me. There are some snags. We went a little wild with the Sawzall and decided to change some things. But really what it is this is a really challenging part of the build. And the challenging part of it is getting all the lines and the contours kind of meshing and lining up. And it's turning out to be one hell of a task. But we're going to get there. We got this. We got this. So right now we're just kind of mocking to make sure that the body and the Hellcat and the frame that's now cut, it all meshes and matches and blends. So so right now we're successful. Now the next move is to get the rest of the body, which is, by the way, over right there. We took the center section of the actual floor, so where the floor exists here and the seats actually get bolted down, we took that whole piece off. And we took it as far back as possible because there's a main structure point right here. And we were afraid that if we went further into this floor and into that section, the whole back end of this would just flop and be out of control. So we wanted to make sure we kept that in control, and at the same time, we were moving the portion of the body over. And what we did actually, if you can see the stitches here in the line here, what we actually did was the door jamb and the actual dog leg of the door, we actually moved it completely and grafted it right back into the side of the body. And the reason for that is because we're using the door as actually a structural piece. The door is aluminum and the body is steel, so you couldn't just weld the door into place. And we wanted to use the door because the door has the curvature going up and down, and also front to back. There's actually a curvature, it's not straight. Okay, so here we did is we took the door, and something looks a little different, huh? So what we did is we actually cut the door into a pattern to be able to actually shrink it into the shape that we need, because we're shrinking the frame, we're shrinking the body, and we wanted to keep the door as a structural piece. And as you can see, we move this piece and it will fit right here like that. And then once we bolt it down the line and use adhesive, this would be really super strong. And then we'll do finishing work and paint it. All right, so here's another fun one. So we cut the body, we cut the frame, we shrank everything. So now we also have to do the hardtop. And the hardtop is going to be interesting, right? Because we're actually going to take a section of the hardtop right off. And right now, as you can see, we're kind of trying to figure out what's the best pattern, because we also want to make sure we keep the ledge that's the seal to the door, right? Because we want that ceiling to be weatherproof and waterproof, and so what, you know. And so what we're doing is we're trying to figure out where we're going to cut, and then come down, move the seal over, and then cut a section of the center of it, and then shrink it down, and then we're going to fuse it together. Piece of cake.